Hey Transformers fans, Adam here, back for another Transformers review and comparison, and we're going to wrap up the 40th anniversary Soundwave saga up with the two members of his cassette army that he comes with, Laserbeak and Ravage, and we'll compare them with the G1 reissues here. So let's get into it, starting with the two Laserbeaks. So the biggest difference between the two of them is, for the 40th anniversary, they went with a much more accurate G1 color scheme compared to the OG. Hence why with the wings here, you don't have all this circuitry going on with the 40th anniversary. And also, the Decepticon logo right in the middle of the wing there, instead of right in the middle of his head. One difference that I'm not a fan of though is, with the rocket boosters and lasers, they made them silver instead of the chrome. I do prefer the chrome, but that is just me. The silver though does again make them more accurate with the G1 series. Spin them around, give you a 360 here. And underneath, again, much more sleek and solid design. You don't have all this going on with the 40th anniversary. That'll show us off a lot more once we transform them. So let's put the reissue aside for a minute and focus on the articulation with the 40th anniversary here. It is exactly the same as the G1s, so you can move his head and neck around. Got some movement with the wings here. And that's about it. You can move the legs slightly, but that's mainly just for transforming. Alright, let's go ahead and put Laserbeak aside for a minute, and we'll turn our attention to Ravage here. So, just like with Laserbeak, it's a much more accurate G1 color scheme, especially if you notice with the legs. They stand up much more than they do with the OG, and they're more accurate to what we saw on the show. And just like with Laserbeak, they went with silver weapons as opposed to the chrome. Again, I do prefer the chrome, but that is just me. But the silver is, again, more accurate to what we saw on the show. And get a little close-up with the eyes here. His eyes are red with the 40th instead of yellow. Flip him around here. And you don't have all this going on with the 40th anniversary like you do with the OG. That'll show us up a lot more when we transform him. But just one solid design, and again, it's what we saw in the series. Alright, we'll go ahead and put the OG aside for now. And we'll focus on the articulation for the 40th anniversary. And again, it is exactly the same as the G1s. So move that tail up and down, move his head up and down, move the legs around, and you can even move his feet. So slightly more articulate than Laserbeak. Alright, let's go ahead and transform him. Start by taking off these weapons. Move his head back. Move the tail up. Go ahead and move these front legs back. And then the back legs. Make sure those feet are positioned right though. There we go. And there he is in cassette mode. And let's go ahead and transform Laserbeak. So, Laserbeak. Again, start by taking off the rocket boosters and lasers. Push in the head and neck. Push in the wings. And push up the legs and feet. And there they are as cassettes. And we'll set them down for a minute, and let's get the OGs back out here. And here we are, and let's compare them in cassette mode, starting with the two Laserbeaks. So, for the 40th anniversary, again, it's more solid G1 accurate color scheme, solid white and red with some Decepticon symbols. You don't have all this going on like you have with the OG. Although honestly, I do prefer this design a little bit. It gives it more of a cassette feel, especially with the roll of film that you see in there. Flip it around. Again, a more solid design. You don't have all the circuitry going on with the 40th anniversary here. Just solid red and silver and black. Alright, put them aside and focus on Ravage. And again, a more solid G1 accurate color scheme. You don't have all that going on, which again, I do kind of prefer for cassette because it gives it more of a cassette feel. And flip it around. And again, just a more solid G1 color design. Alright, we'll go ahead and put the OG aside, and we'll transform them back. So, Ravage here. First, bring down the back legs. And then bring out those feet. And then bring down the front legs. And bring out those feet. And bring out the tail and the head. And then reattach his weapons. So, now I'm throwing things. Alright, 1 and 2. And there he is, as a Jaguar, ready to spy on the Autobots and report back to Megatron, or provide Soundwave with some ground support. Let's see if he can stand up right. Hey, look at that, got it right on the first shot. Beautiful. Now for Laserbeak. Start by bringing down the legs and the feet. And then bring out the wings. And then bring out the head and neck, raise it up. And then reattach the rocket boosters and the lasers. So 1 and 2. And back to a Condor, again ready to spy on the Autobots or provide Soundwave with some air support. Alright, so overall my consensus with the 40th anniversary Soundwave package here. If you don't already have a G1 Soundwave, Laserbeak and Ravage, then this is absolutely perfectly fine to add to your collection. If you do already have a Soundwave and Laserbeak and Ravage, but you're just a hardcore collector, again, perfectly fine to add to your collection. But if you already have a Soundwave, Laserbeak and Ravage, and you're not a hardcore collector, then this probably is not necessary. That's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But that'll about wrap it up for this video. Join me again for the next one. Until then, take care, Transformers fans.